There's a specific kind of attraction that never gets named, nothing obvious happens. But both of you know, you feel it in the pauses, in the way conversations stretch longer than they should, in how the room feels different when they're in it. Just a quiet sense that something shifted. And here's the uncomfortable part. Sometimes the attraction you don't act on is more real than the one you do. Because it's not performing, it's just there. And once you learn to recognize it, you can't unsee it. This isn't about crushes the way movies sell them. It's not about butterflies or destiny or the one. It's about the subtle human signs of attraction most people experience, but rarely name. And here's what makes this complicated. Attraction doesn't always mean what you think it means, and most people don't know how to hold that. So they either act on it and ruin it, or deny it and lose it anyway. But if you can recognize it without forcing it into a story, you get to keep something most people miss, because the real question isn't if you're attracted. The real question is, what do I do with something real that doesn't want to become anything else? Let's talk about what mutual attraction actually looks like before anyone ever says a word. The first sign is easy to miss because it doesn't look dramatic. It's the way your attention settles. You're not scanning the room when they're around. You're not checking your phone every 30 seconds. Your body doesn't feel like it needs to perform. Conversation flows without effort. Not because it's exciting, but because it's easy. You're not trying to be interesting. You just are. You're at a party. Normally, you'd be scanning the room, checking your phone, planning your next move. But with them, you're just there. No performance. You're talking about work, traffic, nothing special, and it feels like the only conversation in the room. And what makes this mutual is that the same thing happens on their side. They're not leaning forward to impress you. They're leaning back, relaxed, open, present. That comfort doesn't come from flirting. It comes from nervous systems that feel safe around each other. And safety is often the first thing attraction disguises itself as. And the older you get, the more powerful that becomes. When you're younger, attraction feels loud. When you're older, it feels steady. Not chaotic, not consuming, just calm and deeply present. The second sign usually shows up after the moment is over. You spend time together, talking, laughing, maybe doing nothing special at all. And then you check the time. How is it already this late? Nothing big happened, no deep confession, no turning point. But somehow, hours disappeared. You're standing outside after everyone else left. You say, I should go. They say, yeah, me too. Neither of you moves. 5 minutes becomes 20. 20 becomes an hour. You're not talking about anything important, just talking. And when you finally leave, you don't feel tired. There's a quiet drop. Something meaningful ended before you were ready. That's not chemistry chasing a high. That's attunement. And here's how you know it's mutual. They felt it too. Not because you asked, because when you mentioned it later, they said, I didn't want it to end either. And neither of you wanted to be the first to break it. The third sign is more confusing. And this is where many people get stuck. You feel drawn to them, but not in a way that screams romantic. There's no urgency to touch, no urge to cross a line. The pull is emotional, not physical. You want to talk. You want to sit near them. You want to share things that don't normally come out. And here's the important distinction. Not every attraction wants a relationship. Some connections want resonance, not escalation. This is where people panic, especially if they're already in a relationship. They assume attraction means betrayal. It doesn't. Sometimes it just means this person sees me. I don't have to translate myself here, and sometimes you're not even attracted to them. You're attracted to who you are when you're around them. Calmer, more open, more like yourself. That distinction matters, because if you're in a relationship, this kind of attraction feels like a threat. But here's what's actually happening. You're noticing ease, presence, being seen without effort. That doesn't mean your relationship is wrong. It means something in you is asking, do I get to feel this alive with the person I'm with? And that's a question worth asking, whether you act on this attraction or not. The fourth sign shows up in the smallest moments, micro adjustments. Your voice softens around them, or steadies. You sit a little closer than necessary. Not touching, just within reach. You notice how they react to things more than you notice the things themselves. And they do the same with you. They remember throwaway details. They pick up on shifts in your mood before you say anything. They hand you something. Your fingers touch for half a second. Neither of you pulls back immediately. It's not a move, it's not intentional. But both of you noticed. This isn't obsession. It's awareness. When attraction is mutual, attention becomes gentle instead of hungry. You're not consuming each other. You're noticing each other. The fifth sign doesn't come from you at all. It comes from the outside. Someone raises an eyebrow, makes a comment, jokes, lightly is about the two of you, not because you're obvious, but because something between you is coherent. When attraction is mutual, other people sense alignment before either of you name it. People don't actually notice chemistry. They notice alignment. The way you respond to each other. The way your rhythms match. You're not flirting. You're not touching. You're not even sitting that close. But something about the way you move around each other, the way you track each other in a group, creates a frequency other people pick up on. And that's when you start questioning yourself. Is this real? Am I imagining this? You're not. If other people are noticing it, it's there. The clearest sign of all shows up when they're not there. You're in the same setting, same people, same activity. But they're missing, and suddenly everything feels flat. Not bad, just less. Like the color got turned down slightly. That's not obsession. That's what happens when someone's presence changes the baseline of a room. And if they've ever said something like, "It's weird when you're not here," that's all the confirmation you need. Because once you notice this kind of attraction, your brain does what it always does. It wants a label, a plan, a decision. It hates leaving something real unnamed and unresolved. So here's the question you're probably asking. If I feel this, what am I supposed to do? And here's the answer most people resist. Nothing. Not because it isn't real. Because real doesn't always mean do something about it. Attraction isn't a decision waiting to happen. Sometimes it's just recognition. Two people seeing something in each other that doesn't need more than that. And the moment you try to force it into something, a relationship, a confession, a what are we, a conversation, you risk losing the thing that made it real in the first place, which was simply being seen without needing to be claimed. And if someone came to mind while you were listening to this, don't rush to define it. Don't romanticize it. Don't push it away either. Just notice what happens next time you're near them. Notice whether your body settles or tightens. Notice whether time slips by or speeds up. Notice whether you leave feeling clearer or emptier. Because attraction that matters doesn't demand answers. It changes how you pay attention. And once you see that, you'll never experience nothing happened the same way again.